You go again and hear, oh Lord, you mean God taking all the nice people, all the honest people in this world? We have to live that type of life in this world. I am not excluded, you know. I am the first one included. I have to take my own advice. I am a human being just like you. This is why I probably make these glasses in the hot sun. It does get dark. Nobody could see if I cry. But when we stand up, devotees, when you decide to do Pandit work and you decide to do it honestly, when you stand up here as a human being and you see children fainting for mothers, and mothers fainting for children, and fathers fainting for children, then at least you are a human being too. But if you start to cry and bawl, who will do the funeral? But you're a human being. Our job is very hard. It's very, very difficult. If you decide to do it, from the time I've been appointed to do anything, devotees, I make myself part of that family. If you decide to do it like that, well, then it's going to affect you. If you come and you do this funeral like a business and you're gone, it would not affect you. So in this world, while we are alive in this world, devotees, we have to speak to God in English. Speak to Him in English and tell Him what you have in your mind. Ask Him to forgive you. God, forgive me. Every time I clasp my hand together, I say, Lord, if within the past few months that I did anything wrong, please forgive me. God is going to forgive us, devotees, but He would not forget. When Sita goes to answer question, there will be no one with her. She is going to have to answer all the questions that are placed before her. How she did and what she did as a mother, what she did as a sister, and what she did as a neighbor, and what she did as the person selling inside there. You know, devotees, for how many years I am doing puja and I am the spiritual leader of this home. And when the message was sent to me that Sita died, I asked, who is Sita? I did not know. I used to call her Dulahin. And I used to call her husband Kaki son. Yeah. I used to refer to him as Kaki son. When he telling me Sita passed away, I asked him, who is Sita? Sometimes the closeness that you share, devotees, the name doesn't really count. Probably you might know the name and it doesn't have the closeness. Closeness to the family is what the Pandit is for. The Pandit has to be there in happy times when they're singing happy birthday and thing, he has to be there too. And he has to be there in sad times. It's not like you can't find him in the sad times, you know. Sometimes it happens. Sad times and happy times, he has to be there for you. It was so shocking for all of us. I can't say for me alone. All of us. It was so shocking. Sometimes the way you die and the age that you die, it becomes shocking. So we put our hands together, close our eyes, and we say a final prayer before we're ready to leave this home to the cremation site. And we speak to God. When we close our eyes, we get an opportunity to search our heart. And when we search our heart, it is said in all religion, the human heart is the temple of God. Baba man ke aankh hai khol. Man is the mind, aankh is the eye, khol mean to open. We open the eyes of the mind and there we're going to see that form of God. Today is Monday, today is Lord Shiva Day. Today is the Devi's Day. Any form of God that you feel comfortable with, say a little word of prayer. Regardless of what language, Spanish, Hindi, French, any form of God, any form of language, you can speak to God and say a little word of prayer for the soul. Say a little word of prayer for the children who are alive in this world. Lord, we want you to give them the courage and give them the strength so that they can stand strong and do everything for their lost loved one. Lord, aap sare jagat ke utpatti karne wala, Lord, we are all your children and we sit before you and we are humbly asking you, Lord. This person we have lost here was a very good soul. We ask you, Lord, guide and protect that soul and give that soul everything that it needs in this world. Om Jai Ram Rama Ramanam Shamanam Bhavata ताप भया कुल पाहि जनम अवधेश सुरेश रमेश विभु शरणागत मागत पाहि प्रभु दस शीश विनाशन विष भुजा कृत दूरी महामहि भूरि रुजा रजनीश्वर भृंग पतंग रहे सरपावक तेज प्रचंड दहे महिमंडल मंडन चारु तरंग घृत सायक चाप निशंग वरं मदमोह महाममता रजनी तम पूंज दिवाकर तेजयनी मन जात किरात किए मृगलोक कुभोग सरे नहीं मुनिमानस पंकज भृंग भजे रघुवीर मारण धीरयजे तब नाम जपामि नमामि हरे भवरोग महागण मानयरे गुणशील कृपा परमायतनं प्रणमामि निरन्तर श्रीरमणं रघुनन्दनि कन्दन धन्दधनं महिपाल विलोकय दीनजनं महिपाल विलोकय दीनजनं बार बार बर मांगहु हर्ष देहु श्रीरंग पद सरोजयनुपायने भक्ति सदा सत्संग बरनी उमापति राम गुण हर्ष गए कैलाश तब प्रभु कपिन दिवाय सब विधि सुख प्रदवास सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। राम नाम सत्य है। Devotees, the pinna that we offer, we ask in God that the body that He given this soul, we want that the material, that body to be a nice body. This is why we offer pinda, to help build a nice body for the soul. We ask in God. We can't do nothing without God. We offered 5 pieces of gold. The Hindi word for gold is sona. Sona danam, it said. The pieces of gold is to clear the pathway for the soul. The soul is going to begin a journey with the instructions of the Pandit on the Bhandara day. The soul is going to begin a journey. According to the books, that journey takes a year. And every month, that soul on the Tithi, if you check the Patra, the Tithi, that soul stops to take a rest. Not only the soul, but all the souls that died around this time. When the messenger of God comes, then the messenger carry all these souls to that Lord. And every month a pinda must be offered on the date of the death, the date that that person died. We deal with the soul. When it stop to take a rest, like when we tired and we stop to take a rest and sometimes we drink a Lucozade and we go on again, just so. Sometimes it is recommended that during these months we have a little satsang, a little singing, a little something, so that then the blessings from that will energize that soul and the soul will go again for a month. And then it's going to stop, take a rest until it reaches the year. Then we do something we call the Vaishika Srad, which is the final rites. That is when the family will separate from the soul. All now the soul is known as a pret. A pret is a spiritual soul. It is still attached to the family. Anything we offer, the family offer to God is going to accept. After that 1 year, then that soul, this soul is going to become an ancestor. That's when we say we ancestor, we nani and we nana and thing pass away, we ancestors. After 1 year, this soul, when it take the body, is going to become an ancestor. So during this 12 months, devotees, and 15 days for the year is dedicated, we call Pitra Paksh, is dedicated for all souls. One of the greatest blessings that someone could attain in their life is to offer something on Pitra Paksh time. Because you does not know where your father or your mother or your grandfather or your Aji or your Aja, you doesn't know where the soul is. Probably hit by a car and in the bush somewhere they're suffering. Probably in the bush somewhere hit by some trap gun or something and it's suffering by a tree root. He doesn't know where. So when you offer now and you say, Lord, wheresoever my mother's soul is, I want it to rest in peace. So in about 15 minutes time, we'll be ready to leave. So who would like to have the final view of this body? And who would be unable to go down there and accommodate? Well, we know the accommodation is very small. Who want to have their last view of the body, they could do so in a very orderly manner. So I'm going to notify Guru that we are going to leave devotees in about 15 minutes time. On behalf of the bereaved family, I must thank each and every one of you for coming in the time of sadness, in the time of sorrow, in the time of loneliness, to help shoulder the problems and difficulties of this family. Everyone who are present here is someday, sometime, someplace have to go through the same thing that this family going. We cannot get away from that. Death is a must. The only must in your life is death. So on behalf of the family again, I must thank each and every one of you. Don't forget the shaving day, 10 days, and don't forget the Bhandara day, 13 days. Until we see, until we meet again, God bless each and every one of you. Sita Ram. Anything else you want to say?
रोते हैं रोते आज रोते सलमान रोते